What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a word from the ancestors read for the sign of Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, you guys are third in week 3. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, you guys. As you know, this is a pyramid spread, if you will, or format. We're going to start from the top of the deck and work our way down into the pyramid. This is row 2 with 3 cards. If you're not familiar, this is focusing on what you want and not what you don't want, centering yourself around that in which you want. Okay, the third row here is a row of 5, dealing with the change or changes that may be occurring in your life right now. Okay, and then we have the last row of the pyramid, which is row 4 with 7 cards here, focusing on that inner strength and, kind of also that form of protection over yourself, okay, and the things that are going on around you. The center row of this pyramid is considered you, okay, as far as what's going on with you primarily, okay. And then you have the right side of the pyramid that can be considered masculine energy, and you have the left side, which is feminine energy. We all have that within us, okay? As if you've been watching me long enough, you know that I express that during the readings. Okay, we'll look at the bottom of the deck momentarily to see what the possible overall outcome is or any additional information as it relates to you. Okay, Aquarius, you could have to share your energy with other placements in Aquarius. Okay, so if you're an Aquarius sun sign, this is primarily for you, but you may have others that might have Aquarius in their 6th house. Okay, and so you have to kind of share that energy. I try to read for everybody when I do these readings. All right. So hopefully you can see the pyramid in its entirety. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. So we have 5 of Pentacles. Okay. 5 of Pentacles to start at the top. All right. 5 of Pentacles is usually talking about feeling kind of left out in the cold or something kind of, I feel like a misleading energy in a sense. Okay. I will interject just briefly that week 3 has been very, very heavy on me in regards to getting everyone's readings out. So if that is what you're feeling a little bit left out about, please don't feel left out. It's pretty much everybody's reading has been a little bit delayed, okay, as far as with my energy and just the energy of the collective, okay. I've been slowly getting the readings out throughout the remaining weeks of the month of October, which is technically into November, which is technically supposed to be my vacation time off, but the energy was just kind of a little bit up and down with week 3 signs, okay? And so that's why you guys got stretched. So if you felt a little bit left out in reference to readings, my apologies to you, but first and foremost, as much as I expressed to you guys to take care of yourselves, I also had to take care of myself as well, as far as mentally and emotionally. And again, I do work during the day, so I'm not getting paid for this, okay? This is me wanting to help people energetically and spiritually. So this is based off of really my free time, okay? And if you didn't like being, kind of left in the lurch a little bit, be prepared for me to be on a extensive break coming up, okay, towards the end of this month, okay? So nonetheless, back into your reading, okay, Aquarius. So again, like I said, this feeling kind of left out in the cold, or something being a little bit like I said, misleading energy. Okay. So let's go into the next card, and we have this Knight of Pentacles here. Okay, Knight of Pentacles, which is Earth energy towards Virgo Capricorn. Kind of offering is diagonal from this Five of Pentacles, which could be six, needing to share some kind of valuable information with someone. Okay, showing some kind of worth to someone. Okay, so it could be something, like I said, something missing. Okay, and so someone could be coming along with this kind of energy to kind of interject and say, here's that missing piece. Okay, it could be a situation of someone owing someone, maybe for looking out for them, possibly. Okay, and so someone coming along and saying, here is what what I owe you, or just showing some form of appreciation. May it be small, but it is genuine. It's a little bit more genuine than the Page of Pentacles, because Page of Pentacles is really, bottom of the deck, or bottom of the suit, if you will, when it comes to Pentacles. And so it's usually very lighthearted. It's not that it's not genuine, but it's just usually, in my opinion, when I read, like an icebreaker when it comes to the Page. With the Knight, it's a little bit more maturity, and it's a little bit more genuine. Okay, so next we have the Sun. Okay, we have the Sun card here. Sun card showing up right up underneath the Five of Pentacles. Again, remember, this is your center row here. Okay, the Sun is usually talking about some positive energy. I usually refer the Sun to the solar plexus chakra. Okay, as far as like finding that positivity within something. Okay, being able to kind of think the opposite of this Five of Pentacles, of feeling left out in the cold. Maybe you somehow grow some type of optimism towards the situation of, maybe it's best that things worked out this way, because I still have some fine tuning to do, whatever it is that you're working towards. Okay, and so you're taking things as, what's meant to be is meant to be, and I'll stick a pin in it for now, and maybe I'll come back to it later. Okay, which is good energy. Okay, so next we have the Page of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords. Page of Swords is kind of going towards the Sun energy, and it's almost where, if you can see, the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords is aiming right at this Sun card. Okay, and so again, with it being right in the center of you, whatever, again, right side masculine energy, left side feminine energy. Okay, of you. Okay, it's not those outside of you. For some, it may be someone on the outside, on each side of you, kind of offering you this optimism. Okay, so if it's not you who's feeling this Sun, as far as making your own positive awareness, or creating a positive outlook on things, it could be people on the outskirts of you that are telling you, like, hey, it's going to be fine, just give it some time. Oh, here's, like I said, here's what I owe you, things of that nature. And so whatever it is, it's like you have, either it's within yourself that you're able to create this optimism, or you have supporting, energy around you that is helping with this Sun energy, so that way you don't feel as though, you're feeling left out, or feeling like things are incomplete, or, like I said, feeling misled in communications. Okay, and so some people could be bringing some clarity around you that brings this optimism out. Okay, so you don't stay in this Five of Pentacles for very long. All right, so let's move on to the next card, which is Ten of Cups. Okay, Ten of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. You see this family here underneath these cups. Okay, wish fulfillment, which is diagonal from this Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so I will say, Aquarius, between, I think, you and Aries reading, Knight of Pentacles has kind of shown up a few times, especially within the ancestor reads, I think, since I started doing this pyramid spread, and in other readings as well, such as your general reads. And so I think within possibly a family dynamic, if you will. Maybe there's been a wish fulfillment of everybody getting along, and now it seems as though that is occurring. Okay. Maybe disagreements are at an all-time low with this page of swords type of energy being here, okay, of someone offering some lightheartedness to a situation and maybe not being so combative, if you will, okay. And so there could be some light apologies in the sense of not saying the actual words I apologize, but just being a little bit more cordial is what I'm feeling, okay. And so that wish fulfillment of, kind of maybe having a little bit better family dynamic is what's coming along for you. Okay. So let's move on to the next card, which is the Ace of Pentacles here. Okay. Very nice. Coming up right up underneath that Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And so, like I said, this dynamic here, which I'm really liking, this Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and Ten of Cups, okay? A very huge offer on the table in the sense of I'm feeling this energy of truce, okay? Making a truce between you and someone else's energy within a family dynamic. And maybe like I said, you've possibly been wishing for this, or either someone in your family has been wishing for this, okay? Again, this is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? So very nice energy here, very lighthearted, genuine energy to make this family dynamic really more fruitful in the sense of worth and understanding, okay? Next is the Five of Cups, okay? Five of Cups up underneath the Sun card and the Five of Pentacles, okay? 3 cups down, 2 up usually is the card of disappointment in some shape, form, or fashion, okay? So it could be disappointment in the sense of, again, you're looking at what is a loss and not at what you have, okay? And so with 5 coming up twice in your center row, we're talking about change, okay? You seem to sometimes fluctuate in your thoughts of what it is that you actually want, okay, Aquarius. And so it could be a sense of maybe disappointment of maybe not being able to have this. Like I said, I feel like, and I think we've talked about this either with you or Aries, of a blended family type of situation. And so maybe you could be disappointed in the sense of not being able to have this with, biological family, and it's more so in terms of a blended family type of situation, okay? And that's not for everyone. It's going to be for a select few, okay? But again, don't focus so much on what was lost or what wasn't able to transpire. Look at what you still have gained or acquired. You still gained that family dynamic within your environment, but it does not mean that it's the end of everything, okay? There's also another energy that I'm kind of feeling in the sense of maybe having this family dynamic too late, in a sense of, you've kind of grown. It's something that you wanted maybe when you were a child, okay? Because we do have the Sun card with the child on the back of a horse. And so it's kind of part of a little bit of that sacral chakra being blended in of what your inner child craved, okay? Where you didn't get the chance to really grow up with an older sibling or a younger sibling, to have that kind of sibling attachment, and maybe that didn't come until a later time. And so maybe you're kind of, disappointed or kind of regretful in that sense of not having that full-on experience, okay? So again, kind of look at the bigger picture, if you will, and not focus on what couldn't transpire. Focus on what you currently have, okay? So next card is Four of Pentacles. Okay, Four of Pentacles underneath the Page of Swords. Okay, kind of holding back. Like I said, this is the right side masculine energy. Aquarius, to keep the peace in some cases. For some of you, it may not be the greatest environment that you're in right now, if it is in regards to blended family type of situation. And possibly, you know, you've been holding back your true feelings because you don't want to, you know, disrupt or cause any conflict around a situation. Okay. And so maybe there's been a lot of broken promises, things of that nature. Maybe you're having to adjust to a new dynamic or new family dynamic that is hard for some of you to deal with. Okay. And so you're kind of holding back in only, you know, like I said, being cordial or only offering small communication at this time. Okay. And that is what I'm feeling with this Four of Pentacles. And then you have the Strength card on the outskirts. Okay. So following the Four of Pentacles, you are going to have some form of strength because of this change. You have 10 of Cups on one side, on the feminine side of your spread, and then you have the Strength card on the masculine side. Okay. And so attributing this going all the way up to your pyramid, back to that Five of Pentacles, coming across that Knight of Pentacles and this Page of Swords, you may start feeling left out, or have been feeling left out of this family dynamic, because maybe you're the oldest, maybe you're more mature, things of that nature. And so you don't get that chance of having a true family dynamic because now you're moving on to the next phase of your life. Okay. Again, five, promoting change. Okay. And so you are having to have that strength of, you know, not being able to have that for some of you, and having to press forward into that new phase of your life, moving on to more mature adulthood, if you will. Okay. And so you kind of are disappointed that you can't continue to have or experience what it is that you always wanted as a child. And, you know, but you have to look at a new way of possibly having that. Okay. Such as, you know, family traditions of like Sunday dinners, things of that nature, or, you know, getting together and maybe going out sometimes with your family. Especially if it's like a blended family type situation, there are ways to work around it where you just create a new tradition that still gives you that that small satisfaction, if you will, of that family dynamic. Okay, this may be specific to a few, not everyone. Okay, so just take that into consideration. Okay, Aquarius. So let's move on to the last row. We have the Lovers. Okay, the Lovers. All right. So the Lovers is here going diagonal from the Ten of Cups. Okay. Now, just like I was saying of trying to find a way around adjusting and being strong. Okay. Moving on to the next phase of your life. This Lovers card is here. You're moving into a more, like I said, mature adulthood, if you will. And so now you have to focus on, you know, you're no longer, you know, a child anymore. You are now an adult, and it's time for you to find someone that you would like to have this Ten of Cups with. Okay. And it's, of course, yes, it may take some time, feeling like this Five of Pentacles, kind of feeling left out. And maybe you see all your other friends are in relationships and you kind of sometimes feel like a third wheel at times. And so you're trying to see where you fit in at as far as having your own relationship. Again, I have said this to other signs, primarily I think Leo and Capricorn, that there is no rush into anything. When you first are dealing with someone, you're establishing a friendship, and from friendship you see if it transpires into something more. Okay, but there's no rush. All right. But into adulthood, we then create our own families. And so that is also what you need to look forward to with this Five of Cups. Okay, is look at what you have to look forward to, not what is being lost. Okay, or what is going to take a long time. All right, you don't want to just jump into something with someone and it does not work out the way that you want it to, because you're only focusing on getting this Ten of Cups, the house, the car, the family dog, the kids. You're not focusing on what it takes to get there. You could end up marrying a mass murderer, but you're happy because you finally got this Ten of Cups. And it's like, no, then next thing you know, you're not happy. And so you have regrets. So, go about things the right way, okay? Which is working on yourself, preparing yourself to be in that type of situation of being with someone who meets your standards and what you truly want. In this Ten of Cups, okay, for yourself. So let's move on to the next one here, and we have the Six of Swords, okay? Six of Swords underneath this Ten of Cups. Aquarius, I feel like for some of you, you may, and most people do, we all worry about whether or not we'll end up in the same kind of position that our parents were in, okay? And so with this Six of Swords, you kind of possibly are worried about this Ten of Cups not lasting for very long, okay? For some of you, if you just focus on this corner here, Ten of Cups, Six of Swords, and the Lovers, it could be a situation of a family breaking apart, possibly. For some of you Aquariuses, where now you have a dynamic of possibly having two Christmases, two Thanksgivings, one with your mom and one with your dad and his new girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, okay? And so, you kind of feel like your family is falling apart. And it's understandable. It's the worst part of any family dynamic to be so close at one point in time, and now things are falling apart, okay? But the thing that you must remember the most in those types of situations, Aquarius, is that your parents love you regardless, okay? And just think of it this way: while it may be two separate Christmases or separate holidays that you get to see each parent separately or individually, you still are loved double time, okay? Just as much as you were when they were together. It does not change anything now that they are apart, okay? So, be glad that even though they may not be together, and that's what you are used to, you have to also understand what your parents may be going through as well, that it hurts them just as much as it hurts you to be separating from each other, because it's not something that they were aiming for in the first place. But it is, it's on your parents to explain, the reasoning why, okay? Unfortunately, we never think that we're going to fall out of love with anyone, but it does happen in some occasions where there's just no mutual understanding anymore, okay? And it's fair in the sense of what they have to deal with each other, okay? They are allowed to feel, they are allowed to change their minds, okay? And so we can't be selfish, and only think about ourselves in this type of situation, because just as much as you're hurting, like I said before, they are hurting as well, okay? They don't want it to have to be this way, but it's better for them to go their separate ways than to fake it just for you as their child, and it's not authentic, okay? Because eventually it will boil over in the sense of causing disruption within the home, okay? Where you will start noticing, and there's no way for them to, hide it anymore, okay? So it's best to separate than to cause more disruption. And they don't want to have you look at that type of dynamic. They don't want you to see that, okay? That's not an environment that's good for a child, okay? at any age. Doesn't matter if you're 13, doesn't matter if you're 25, okay? It's uncomfortable, okay? Because it's definitely that energy over this reading, okay? So it could be for some of you, like I said, in this corner, a family dynamic has, you know, separated. There's some form of separation, and everyone has to be strong for each other as much as they do for themselves, okay? So the next card here is the Knight of Wands, okay? Knight of Wands coming up underneath the Ace of Pentacles here, okay? And it could be a situation of, someone trying to stop this Six of Swords, um, possibly trying to be a mediator of some sort. Okay, you do have the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Wands. So it could be that dynamic of one person or one sibling understanding while the other one is more passionate about why everyone should stay together. Again, like I said, it's slightly some selfishness, in a sense of not wanting to break up that family dynamic because of familiarity, okay, and because of love of the family, and that's totally understandable. But how much longer is it fair to continue to put on a facade that everybody knows is fake? I don't think I would want to live like that, okay? And so everyone should be able to be happy no matter where they are. And again, the love doesn't change just because someone is no longer around, okay? The love is still the same, okay? So let's move forward to the Four of Swords. Okay, Four of Swords underneath the Five of Cups reflection. Okay, um, taking the time to truly reflect. Again, this center row here is your energy, Aquarius, primarily within your spread. And above that, like I said, Five of Cups, the Sun, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, you are definitely going through a mixture of emotions right now, and the best thing to do is sit and reflect. Okay, reflect in the sense of, putting yourself in other people's shoes, okay, and understanding where they are coming from in a decision that they have decided to make that is affecting the entire family, okay. Not just looking at how it affects you, but again, stepping into their shoes and understanding their point of view, okay. Again, reflecting possibly on your childhood. Again, looking at what's the loss is, okay, and feeling, as though you weren't included in this decision at all, okay. Again, no matter what age you are, as children, if there is some form of separation in a relationship, primarily a marriage of sorts, we don't have any say so. Okay, my family got split up damn near after I was born. Okay, by the age of 2, I had a stepfather. Okay, and then after a stepfather for 10 years, then it changed into different men in my life, that were dating my mom. Their priority was not me, their priority was my mom. So I could not, and I think after a certain age, I stopped wanting a father figure in my life or a role model of a father in my life. And that's just my take on it, okay? And then, of course, as I definitely got into my 20s, it was no longer necessary. And me and my dad tried to connect before he passed. And I got to see just a little bit of where I came from as far as my traits and things and my behaviors that are somewhat familiar, and similar to my dad's. And so I took that with me, and I didn't look back thereafter. I didn't look for anyone to replace him, as being a daughter. Your daughters are always closer to their fathers, and so even in death, I'm closer to him, than I am my mom. I love my mom, of course. She's my mom, but I did always have an affinity for my dad because we had more in common. We were both Tauruses, so it's kind of, the the burnt end of the stick, if you will. But nonetheless, you are in reflection, okay, over your childhood, over everything that has transpired, and that's the best thing for you to do, okay? So next we have the Hermit, and so with reflection comes isolation, okay? You have that underneath the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. You're not doing much talking, masculine energy, of course. And this is on the right side of your reading. So right now you are in isolation. The Hermit is Virgo energy, and so while you're looking for answers within, you're not really talking to anyone. You're kind of holding back your feelings. You're like, whatever. That's possibly your favorite word right now. Okay. Which is understandable. Okay. And so, you're going to compartmentalize, you're going to suppress as much as possible. And you have to be very careful with that because it could backfire where you hold in too much. I would suggest, if you can't verbalize it, to at least write down your feelings so that way you're not blowing up on people, because things are going the way that they are, okay? And it's very easy to do that, okay? And so let's move on to the next card, which is the Fool, okay? Which is taking a leap of faith and, of course, taking a risk. Is showing up underneath the Strength card, okay? And it's more so about just embracing a change, okay? Like I said, this last row is a row of 7 cards. This is the 4th row, protecting your energy, of course, but also progressing forward is what the 4th row is talking about as you connect with that inner strength, that Strength card, Leo energy, okay? And just accepting the new normal, okay? The new normal will still have, like I said, that love, that familiarity. They will always be your family regardless, okay? And it's just being able to accept it and, taking what is familiar, and then just a change of plans in the sense of maybe where you live or how often you see each other, things of that nature, okay? But they will try to make it, your life will be somewhat familiar to what it used to be, with hopefully not that much change, okay? Just a different way of seeing things, a different way of living, okay? So next we have the 8 of Cups, okay? The 8 of Cups. You try, okay? You try as much as you possibly can, but as far as maybe trying to interject, I feel like that's where the trying is coming from, to interject from something from happening, a disconnect or separation within the family. But at the end of the day, someone still ends up walking away, okay? 8 of Cups is pretty much talking about trying to move forward as much as you possibly can. And again, just remember, Aquarius, if this is in regards to you and a separation in family, okay, remember that everyone is hurting, not just you, okay? And so, you can shut off and you can isolate yourself as much as you can. Like I said, if you're older, it's fine for you to walk away and just be like, okay, I don't have to deal with this. Right now, I understand what the new norm is. I tried, to, be there, but now I don't have to. And so you can easily walk away. And just be there when everyone needs you, accordingly, or when you have time, okay? But nonetheless, you do realize that you are self-inflicting yourself to be feeling left out in the cold, okay, when you do that, okay, when you isolate. You can do it for a little while if that's what your plans are, and just still remember to come back, okay? Don't have people worrying about you, okay? Reach out when you can, even if it is something as simple as a text message, okay? But again, if you're worrying about your own possibility of creating a family, don't let what is currently happening within your family overshadow the possibilities of you breaking that chain and not having that happen with your future family. Okay, so with that being said, let's look at the bottom of the deck, Aquarius, and we have the Death card. Okay, we have the Death card. Things coming to an end. Okay, in the sense of birthing a new beginning. Like I said, you have your own family that you will be, creating eventually. Okay, and whatever transpired in your own family, you can always avoid in the future, okay, by doing things a little bit differently. You do have a Queen of Wands up underneath that Death card, okay, which is someone who is very passionate, very determined, okay, and is possibly, running things, and has good leadership, if you will, okay, and so what goes is it goes. So if this Queen of Wands is stating that, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, that's what it is. It's not going any further than that. Okay, there is a new passionate beginning with the Ace of Wands there. Okay, in a sense of, if there is this separation within your family, it's possibly the best thing that could possibly be happening, as far as, especially if there were already internal conflicts within the family that no one, really knew about, that could have been centered around this, family dynamic. Okay, and so there could be a new offer on the table going towards this Five of Pentacles, to say this is a fresh new start, for you to look at things from a different perspective, in the sense of everything will be fine. You're not being left out in the dark, passing the baton on to you, in the sense of, like I said, not creating the same mistakes or making the same mistakes as your parents did. Okay, or those before you, if this is, totally in regards to something else as far as career wise. But I feel like this is more about a family dynamic and generational curses, if you will. Okay, and someone could have possibly said that, and they shouldn't have. It's very discerning to hear that. Okay, and so, again, if you can break the chain, then by all means do. Okay, that is your new responsibility, is to be better than those before you. Okay, in all facets. All right, so with that being said, that is all that I have for you guys, Aquarius. There is one more reading, and I'm going to try and get those out as soon as I can, but until then, peace.